My name is Ryan Cassidresher, and I'm talking about my religious issue, which will be about the topic about religious issues in specifically like the White House, but a little bit about the presidency and then a little bit about the federal government. So first off, most of the presidents in the United States have been Christian, Protestant Christians, and this was pretty big throughout most of the presidency because as a study done in 2020 by the PRRI American Values Survey founded that Democrat voters, which were mainly 42% Protestant and 23% Catholic, so there's already a bigger Protestant number there. So and then they also found in the same survey that Republican voters were 54% Protestant and 18% Catholic. And so this kind of bigger value of Protestant is kind of why we have this leading up to the Protestant presidents, having mainly most of them. But there have been five presidents that have been not Protestant Protestant Christian. Two have been Catholic, and that is our current president Joe Biden and John F. Kennedy. Those were the two Catholic presidents, and then there were three that have been affiliated with no specific religions at all, and that was Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Andrew Johnson, after Lincoln. And this kind of brings up a question because you look at a little bit of the accomplishments of what Jefferson, Lincoln, and Johnson did without a religion, and then you kind of look at the accomplishments of the other presidents, and you can see kind of how things were a little bit not swayed based on religion or ideas or beliefs. One example that I found was in a quote, there was a controversy talking about John F. Kennedy at a speech, and the quote that I found said, controversy made him give a speech in Houston, and he stated this. He said that, I believe in an America that is officially neither Catholic, Protestant, nor Jewish, where no public official either requests or accepts instructions or public policy from the Pope, the National Council of Churches, or any other ecclesiastical source, where no religious body seeks to impose its will directly or indirectly upon the general populace or public acts of its officials, and where religious liberty is so invisible that an act against one church is treated as an act against all. And this is kind of him saying that his idea of him being Catholic, and if people don't like that he wasn't going to let it influence him in any direction or any way, sort of, in his presidency. And that kind of gives specific ties into why the presidency can struggle with this religious issue. And I also found a quote saying that the Supreme Court has said that the federal government may limit religious freedom, but only in a compelling interest to do so in order to protect the common good and limit people's ability to harm others. So the government and the presidency is already trying to keep itself away from religion. Not like necessarily religious like beliefs, but keeping the beliefs out of the laws and the judicial system and everything that kind of is there. So there's already that little bit of an issue. And in Sire, on page 118, it says, sometimes, however, our worldviews vary in one direction so slightly and so persistently that we suddenly realize that we have changed our orientation without knowing it. And there's been countless times where I know, like myself as a person, and I know other people have changed their views based on like it's so easy to change their views and stuff based on like certain beliefs. And so this is a huge like contemporary issue, especially for the president, as he's able to pass laws and stuff. He can say no to certain laws because of his personal beliefs, or he can say yes to certain laws because of personal beliefs. And then so then there's kind of this idea about global power and how globalization can lead to kind of a difference. And so a quote from Malloy says, so far most of the world's religions have remained fairly separate traditions, even though they have spread to different countries and cultures, but globalism may have it impossible for separate religions to remain separate. And kind of seeing how that is different countries can take over other countries based on religion. I mean, look at Russia and Ukraine right now. That's a huge example. Vladimir Putin is invading Ukraine because he wants his belief back in the old Soviet Union, and that's kind of what like a perfect example of today. And then my final quote says, the renewed focus on religion and political parties remains social scientists of the power of religion influence parties and social movements across different regions of the world. And this kind of ties in with that global, like, separate power, because with the separate power of having different leaders and having different ideas and beliefs, there's going to be conflict. And when the conflict strikes, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be this religious belief idea that could really hinder the way we view other countries or other people based on certain things. So there could be a huge problem with having this separate belief system, just like I said with the Russia-Ukraine example. And there's been past examples of people invading other countries or other territories based on their religion. So that is my religious issue, and yeah.